Hey guys, welcome to the last part of our three-part series. So this is going to be part 3 of coaster tournaments. What's the best wooden coaster in the world? If you haven't watched parts 1 and 2, go do that. They're on my channel on a playlist. So today we will be going through the 4 remaining coasters that we have. Boulder Dash, El Toro, Wildfire, and Lightning Rod. So let's get into the bracket. So as you can see, last video, Wildfire defeated Outlaw Run to move into the Final Four. Boulder Dash defeated Gold Striker to move into the Final Four. Lightning Rod defeated Voyage to move into the Final Four. And El Toro defeated Ghost Rider. So our first matchup will be Wildfire versus Boulder Dash. So let's see how this goes. So in our next matchup, we have El Toro, an instant prefabricated wooden coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey, versus Lightning Rod, an RMC wooden coaster at Dollywood in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Both are outstanding rides, perceived by many the two greatest wooden coasters ever. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. So in terms of duration, Lightning Rod has a final duration of 1 minute and 5 seconds, while El Toro has a final duration of 1 minute. So Lightning Rod will be getting the first point. And now in terms of speed, Lightning Rod has a speed of 73 miles per hour, while El Toro has a speed of 70 miles per hour. So Lightning Rod will be getting the second point. And now in terms of height, Lightning Rod has a height of 207 feet, while El Toro has a height of 181 feet. So Lightning Rod will be getting the next point. 3-0 Lightning Rod. It could turn into a blowout here. And now in terms of smoothness, Lightning Rod is an RMC wooden coaster, and many say it does have a couple rough patches, while El Toro is a very smooth Intamin, so I will be giving the point to El Toro. El Toro gets its first point on the board. In terms of airtime, El Toro has some of the most insane airtime moments in the world. While Lightning Rod does have that amazing quad down, El Toro has some of the greatest airtime moments ever, so I'll be giving the point to El Toro. In terms of the drop, El Toro has an insane drop that pulls you to the side and then launches you out of your seat, while Lightning Rod does have a good drop that provides some great floater at the top of that one hill before getting whipped over. It's like floater that turns into ejector there. So it is pretty good there. But I will be giving El Toro the point. 3-3 El Toro. El Toro has made a comeback and tied the game up. In terms of pacing, El Toro never stops throughout the entire ride, while Lightning Rod does the same. Both of these rides have great pacing and you feel the speed the entire time. I'm going to be giving the point to El Toro because Lightning Rod has a little drop right before the big drop, and it's kind of slow there, so I will be giving the point to El Toro. El Toro winning 4-3 now, made a full comeback. In terms of intensity, El Toro has 4.4 Gs, while Lightning Rod has 3.5 Gs, so the point will be going to El Toro. And now, in terms of inversions, there aren't any on either of these coasters, so that will not count. In terms of view, from El Toro, you get a good view of Bizarro, the Safari, and King Ka. And from Lightning Rod, you just get a view of some trees and stuff. So I will be giving the point to El Toro. And now, because we didn't do inversions, we're going to do theming. And in terms of theming, Lightning Rod has a cool hot rod theme, so I will be giving the point to Lightning Rod. And our final score is 6-4, and El Toro has won, and we'll move on to the next round. So let's take a quick look at our bracket before we go into the championship match. So right now, Wildfire, the 16 seed, defeated Boulder Dash, the 4 seed, and we'll face and Wildfire will be going to the championship round. And El Toro has defeated Lightning Rod, El Toro the 3 seed, Lightning Rod the 7 seed, and El Toro will move to the championship round and face Wildfire. This is going to be a tough matchup, so let's see who comes on top. So in our championship matchup, as I said before, we have the 3 seed El Toro versus the 16 seed Wildfire. Wildfire has blown through its entire side of the bracket, blown out literally everybody, and El Toro has done the same. Wildfire has upset everybody that it's faced. Phoenix, Outlaw Run, and then Boulder Dash. 3 incredible coasters that it defeated, while El Toro defeated Lightning Rod, the Ghost Rider, and Lightning Racer. Great coasters there too. So this is going to definitely be a very tough matchup. So let's see which one comes on top here. So let's start off with our duration. Wildfire has a duration of 1 minute and 5 seconds. El Toro has a duration of 1 minute. Our first point will be going to Wildfire. 1-0 lead here for Wildfire. And now, in terms of speed, Wildfire goes 71 miles per hour, while El Toro goes 70 miles per hour. Wildfire will be getting the second point. And now, in terms of height, Wildfire is 184 feet tall, while El Toro is 181 feet tall. Wildfire with another point. 3-0 Wildfire. Wildfire could definitely take away with this one here. And now, in terms of smoothness, Wildfire is an RMC wooden coaster, and this supposedly has a couple small rough patches in there, while El Toro is pretty much glossy smooth, except for one little moment. So El Toro will be getting its first point on the board. El Toro's far behind here. It's going to need to make a big comeback. And in terms of airtime, Wildfire is not strictly based on airtime, while El Toro has some of the greatest airtime moments in the world. So, El Toro will be getting another point, starting to catch up here. 3-2 Wildfire. And now, in terms of drop, these rides both have fantastic drops. Wildfire has a little bump, has a little airtime hill right before the drop, while El Toro has a turn before the drop. I'll be giving this to El Toro because you have some good speed going into the drop, and you get whipped to the side with some great laterals. El Toro has made a full comeback, and it is 3-3. So now, in terms of pacing, both of these rides haul through the entire ride. Wildfire slows down a little bit towards the end of the ride, just a little, while El Toro never stops. Throughout the entire ride, never stops. So I will be giving the point to El Toro. 4-3 El Toro makes a huge comeback. So now, in terms of intensity, El Toro has 4.4 Gs, while Cole Martin has not released the amount of G-force on Wildfire, so I'm not sure about that. I think El Toro is more intense due to the crazier elements it has. Wildfire looks like a very intense ride too, but I could see Wildfire being around 4 Gs. El Toro is one of the most intense coasters in the world, so I will be giving the point to El Toro. 5-3 El Toro. If El Toro gets another point, El Toro wins. Wildfire has to win the last 2 points to force a tiebreaker here. And now, in terms of inversions, El Toro doesn't have any inversions, while Wildfire has 3 awesome inversions, so Wildfire will easily be getting the point. So, let's see what happens here. If El Toro gets the point for the view, then El Toro wins. But if Wildfire gets it, it forces a tiebreaker. So, in terms of view, both of these rides provide amazing views. El Toro, you get a great view of Bizarro, the Safari, and Kingda Ka, while Wildfire, you get a great view of a nearby lake. So I'll be giving the point to Wildfire. 5-5. It has forced a comeback. So now let's talk about theming. So, both of these rides don't have a lot of theming. Wildfire is a little shed. The trains are themed a little bit, and the station's pretty well themed. While El Toro has a okayish themed station, it looks cool from the outside. One of the trains is themed, and it has a little plaza around it. Wildfire also has some good scenery. While Wildfire doesn't have some good buildings around it, El Toro does. But El Toro Station isn't as cool as Wildfire. So this is going to be a tough one here for the theming. And Wildfire also goes around those rocks, but that's technically scenery. So I will not be giving, that will not count. So the winner, 6-5, is the one, the only, El Toro. El Toro's won this. Fantastic ride. Probably the greatest wooden coaster ever. It's currently my 4th or 5th favorite coaster in the world right now. So, congrats to El Toro. So let's take one last look at our bracket. So, to recap the whole tournament, Wildfire defeated Phoenix to move on to the second round. Outlaw Run defeated Ravine Flyer to move on to the second round. Gold Striker defeated the Beast to move on to the second round. Boulder defeated Boulder Dash defeated Boulder to move on to the second round. The Voyage defeated Shivering Timbers to move on to the second round. Lightning Rod defeated Mystic Timbers to move on to the second round. El Toro defeated Lightning Racer to move on to the second round. Ghost Rider defeated Thunderhead to move on to the second round. And now let's get into the second round. Wildfire came through with another upset and defeated Outlaw Run to move on to the third round. Gold Striker lost to Boulder Dash, and Boulder Dash moved on to the the third round, the semifinals. And Lightning Rod pulled off an upset to defeat the Voyage to move on to the third round. And El Toro defeated Ghost Rider to move on to the third round. And now, let's recap the final four here. Wildfire defeated Boulder Dash and came in to play El Toro in the final round. And El Toro defeated Lightning Rod to move on to the final round. In our third place matchup, Lightning Rod, the 7 seed, defeated Boulder to obtain the third place spot, while Wildfire and El Toro battled. As you just saw, El Toro came on top, and El Toro is the winner of Coasters and Creations 2020 Wooden Coasters Coaster Tournament. So, thanks for all who watched this video and watched all 3 parts. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell me if you like this series. If you have any other video ideas for me, I'd be happy to hear them. So, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.